Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. Hi, kids. A hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us. That saying, if you see something, say something, that pertains to all of us, no matter where we live, what county, or where we are. If you see signs of something that could be considered abuse or neglect, whether it be to a child, a person, or an animal, you're encouraged to let your local law enforcement know immediately. This morning, we have an update to the calls of concerns of alleged neglect and deplorable conditions at the animal rescue, Sagley Biker Bully Farm in Indian Mound, Tennessee. I am told that things are being addressed at this rescue aggressively following the passing of the rescue's founder, Lisa Sagley. Now, going back to the beginning to when the reports first came out, it was December 24th that a local rescue out of Clarksville, Tennessee, Mikaela's Mutt Motel, went out to the rescue there in Indian Mound to help with microchipping of the dogs there on the property. Well, that is when the volunteers took these pictures, these shots. This is when they noticed some of the 37 dogs being housed in areas that were not cleaned and not being taken care of properly. On that time, some of the dogs were transferred out of the rescue there in Indian Mound. I was able to join Mikaela's Mutt Motel when they went back out to the rescue on the 1st of January. They went out to see if the tarps were holding up that they helped put in place, the straw still being down, and if things looked cleaned. Here's a look at some of the additional dogs taken off of the property. Again, this was January 1st when they went back. 19 dogs total. That is the number that Mikaela's Mutt Motel has helped to transfer off of the rescue and help to find fosters or adopters for. Well, since this time, I have made another trip back out to Sagley Biker Bully Farm. I did this on the morning of Friday morning. This past Friday morning, I went out, and since that time, there's been new staff in place. Relentless cleaning has happened there on the property, as well as vet visits along with vaccination verifications. Those are just a few of the updates from the animal rescue Sagley Biker Bully Farm. Who would be considered property manager now on the property, Brian Cadwallader, took me into the facility to see how the dogs are being taken care of currently. The 21 dogs still there on the property, and this is what it looks like in the interior of Sagley Biker Bully Farm. They're inside the kennels there, inside of the shelter with food, water, and heat. No dogs are outside. Brian Cadwallader is a former staff member who worked there for 3.5 years. He's been gone for a period, and he tells me he's also a family friend who is overseeing things on site currently. He also tells me that they understand that a lot needs to happen and that it will be worked on one step at a time. Cadwallader says that will stay there to help out on the property until Lisa Sagley's husband, J.D. Sagley, who helped open this rescue back 15 years ago, says that he will be back, and once he's back, that is when Brian will stop with his helping of the property. Now, he says that they also stand by a post that was made on the 30th of December. And this is the post that went up on Sagley Biker Bully Farm's Facebook page. It says, "A big shout out to Mikaela's Mutt Motel for showing up in our time of need. Mikaela and her husband are phenomenal individuals who graciously found many homes for the dogs in a very short period of time. I want everyone to know that these folks are a blessing and have hearts of gold. This show of help is what the rescue community is all about." Now, that is a post made by Brian Cadwallader, but I had the opportunity to speak with J.D. Sagley on Sunday afternoon, and he says, yes, indeed. He also shares the sentiment of that post. Well, today's update comes after talking with J.D. Sagley on Sunday, and also after a meeting between Mikaela and Bradley Lambert, the owners of Mikaela's Mutt Motel, Stewart County Mayor Robert Beecham, Stewart County Sheriff Frankie Grey and Commissioner Eli Thomas, the meeting that took place on January 2nd. Again, I also made a visit back to Sagley Biker Bully Farm, which is the video that you just saw from Friday, January 3rd. And again, that phone conversation I had with Lisa Sagley's husband and co-founder of Sagley's Biker Bully Farm, JD Sagley. I'll have more from him coming up in a little bit, as well as all other parties. But first this morning, let's get a check of our headlines.
Hello, here's the latest news and weather from Main Street Media TV. Jason Doggett from Pulaski has been chosen as one of the 19 participants for the first cohort of the Tennessee Agriculture and Forestry Leadership Program, an 18-month initiative that includes tours across the state, development sessions, and industry visits to foster leadership in the agriculture and forestry sectors. As 2025 unfolds, new Tennessee laws aimed at protecting the state's land from hostile foreign nations are set to go into effect starting January 1st, championed by Senator Kerry Roberts. Clarksville Mayor Joe Pitts swears in newly and re-elected city council members, including Mayor Pro Tem nominee Brian Zacharias, who received unanimous approval. Inspired by family members in Georgia, Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department Battalion Chief Wesley Slager's passion for firefighting has been passed on to his son, Colton, who recently joined the department.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather update.
Happy Monday, folks, and thank you for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Lorna here in the Weather Center checking on your forecast for today. Some of you still might be seeing a light snow shower or two this morning. That activity is continuing to push on east, and in turn we'll be left with a mostly cloudy sky and chilly temperatures. Now, on a regional average, our daytime high is going to struggle through the mid-30s, but we'll call it at 36 this afternoon. Notice lows tonight will be back in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, we'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine. Those clouds really disperse into Tuesday afternoon, allowing our overnight low for Wednesday morning to drop really far. We're back in the teens there, and then a mostly sunny sky will make for a very cold day on Wednesday. 33 and then 16 degrees to start Thursday morning. And then as we move toward the end of the week, this is what I want to talk to you about. Notice we've got another wintry system pushing into the area. This guy could be producing snow, if not some icing. We'll be watching that closely as we get closer to that event. Still too soon. A lot of things can happen between now and then, but we do have eyes on it. And then we'll finally get rid of that guy here on Saturday, and things do trend to warm up just a little bit for Sunday. That's a breakdown of your 7-day forecast. Have a blessed Monday.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome back. Sagley's Biker Bully Farm has been the focus the past 2 weeks of calls of concern about the conditions in which the dogs there are being housed. That is being addressed. I had the chance to speak with now owner of the rescue, JD Sagley, about the conditions. He tells me that since September 15th of 2016, he and his wife, his late wife, Lisa Sagley, have been caring for the stray and unwanted dogs there in Stewart County. That is why they created Sagley's Biker Bully Farm. He is addressing all that has happened the past couple of weeks. I talked with him on Sunday, and during that conversation, that phone interview, JD Sagley says, yes, conditions were bad there on the property. He tells me that staff has been overturned and changed. Work is getting done to get the rescue back to where it was. He has someone there on property that is overseeing things that are happening there until he gets back permanently from working out of state. JD shares with me that no other media outlet has reached out to him as of this time to get his comments on what has happened over the past several days. He shares with me that no dog will be outside there at the rescue, and the next few months, the work that will be done, some of the work will be done will be to address the soil outside before spring hits, and to make sure that everything outside is sanitized and back to where it needs to be. Of the 37 dogs there at Sagley Biker Bully Farm in Indian Mound, 21 still remain on the property. 19 of the dogs were transferred, as mentioned at the top of the show, thanks to the help of another rescue out of Tennessee, that is Mikaela's Mutt Motel, based out of Clarksville. They have been transferred either to foster homes or adopted, but they have been taking care of those 19. The 21 still on property, 12 of those dogs did receive vet care last Thursday, and then the others, their vaccines were checked out to make sure they were up to date and where they needed to be. Coming up today, or here in just a minute, we're going to hear from Mikaela Lambert, owner of Mikaela's Mutt Motel, get her thoughts on what came of the meeting that she had with the county mayor of Stewart County and with the sheriff and a commissioner there in the area. We'll also hear from the county mayor, get his thoughts, as well as hear from Sheriff Grey about the status of the dogs that do remain on the property. We have that for you now.
You guys were able to take in 19 dogs and transfer them out of the conditions in which they were living, placing them with either fosters, adopters, getting them taken care of. You met with the sheriff of Stewart County today, along with the county mayor here in Stewart County. What's the latest on the rest of the dogs? Where are you able to take in more?
So we do have 7 more fosters lined up, and the commissioner said that he's going to work with that rescue and with us to ensure that 7 more dogs are placed into their foster homes. Moving forward, there is going to be more regulations and inspections and everything to make sure that rescues in Stewart County and everywhere are doing what they're supposed to be doing and that the dogs are properly cared for.
As a rescue, as one that you've been in operation since when now?
2022.
Since 2022, you've helped rescue 400 plus dogs or puppies. Are you satisfied as a rescue standpoint?
That's a difficult question. Satisfied that we were able to get most of the dogs out of there, but unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to get all of them just because of the lack of cooperation from the other rescue. So we are hoping that they change their mind and allow us to rescue all of the dogs that are there so that they can truly have a fresh start if they do want to try to do things the right way. So we'll see what happens.
In that meeting, anything else that was maybe comforting that you did hear from the county mayor?
The mayor was very polite and definitely seems to be an animal lover himself. So I think that they are working really hard to get an animal control here in Stewart County, which is absolutely needed. I mean, I don't see how that's not part of like an absolute necessary infrastructure. So we absolutely need animal control out here. So hopefully we can make it happen.
The dogs that you have taken in, how are they doing?
They are doing okay. They're being treated for Giardia, coccidia, roundworms, and hookworms. So a lot of medicine. We're getting them. We have 1 spayed and 1 neutered so far, so we are working on getting all of that done. But so far, all the heartworm tests are negative, so that's always fantastic news. So it's just one day at a time, getting them used to being in a house, getting them socialized. So we have a long road ahead, but I think that these dogs are going to be amazing.
Is there any other way we can still help you all, Mikaela's Mutt Motel, with the rescues that you've taken in?
So definitely still fostering. We do need some more toys. We need some more dog food, specifically puppy food, because a lot of times when the dogs are underweight, we like to start them on puppy food and try to fatten them up a little bit. So definitely puppy food and anything else that you would like to spoil them with, because they certainly deserve it.
Where can we find your information?
MikaelasMuttMotel.org, or you can find us on social media.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
There's approximately 21 dogs left out there. We went out there. All the bad conditions has been corrected. The kennels are clean. The dogs are clean. The kennels are clean. There's food, water. They're inside. out of the cold weather. 12 of them were taken to a vet. In fact, I was just over there with the vet, and they're all healthy. And right now, we're see no reason to move any more dogs from there. There's new people that's volunteers or people, workers. The husband has new people there working, and they are working, and they're taking care of the dogs, and we're getting the problem rectified.
Will there be any follow-up? So,
Yes, okay. We're going to continue to monitor. Yes, we'll continue to monitor it. And like I said, I looked at the dogs personally, and looked at the ones they had at the vet, and I see no more concern right now. There's no concern to move the animals.
If someone sees something like this happening, whether it be with a rescue group such as Sagley's or just an individual owner of an animal, what do you suggest that they do? Is your door open for here in Stewart County?
And there's been 2 or 3 different, it depends on which story and what you believe about, whether it was reported and what was done. But several animal groups got involved in it, and a lot of them went after, and some of the stuff were being cleaned up and dogs were being moved really before we actually started a lot of the investigation, which was okay, I guess. But the owner has passed away, the lady who was running it. So that affects any potential charges anyway, if there would have been any, since she's gone. But the husband who'd been away is back now, and he's doing his best to rectify some of the problems. So, and it may not satisfy all the animal groups and everything, but I got some good advice from the animal core group, and I talked to them. So I feel very, very confident in the way it's being handled and what we're doing. So,
is there a chance that you and the sheriff's office will work for an animal control here in your county?
Of course. That is our end goal. We need animal control. We have a bad stray problem, especially with dogs. We have a wonderful program called SCAMP that's for cats, and they do a great job. We have to rely on these volunteer rescues. So our end game is animal control. However, the first thing you hear about in tax season is tax dollars not going up. Well, we do not have the money. We're too rural of a county. We're a county of 14,000 people, and our taxes are medium to low now. But a lot of our residents, we're about 4 years after being a distressed and at-risk county, which mandates state help. We don't want that. We've came out of that flame, and we don't want to go back. We do not have the money right now to sink into that. We would love to have an animal control facility, an animal control officer, but it comes down to the dollar. And right now, we simply do not have the money. The program that we have now is called a voucher program. I started it about 2 years ago. And if you have a dog and that you go pick up, and it's a stray dog, and you prove it came from our county, and you find out tell us how you found out about it, we will pay for that dog. We have money in that account. There's approximately $30,000 in that account. And the commission has given more money to animal control in the last 2 years than any time before. So the commission is clearly taking a stance that we're going to do the most we can do, but we can't let our children go hungry here and not have lunch and then have a really nice animal control facility. It's just not. I don't think that's a humanely mission. Now, these animals that we're dealing with now, this is a tragic, horrible incident. It is. We just weren't aware of it. The Sagley's Biker Bully Farm, they haven't received any money from the county since we came in office. So we don't go monitor everybody's nonprofit. We wouldn't have a reason to do that. It's just a horrible thing that we hadn't known sooner.
If you see something, say something. How does that work here in this county if someone does see neglect or, deplorable conditions for any animal, any pet?
We beg for it to be reported. Sheriff Grey really attacks, regardless of what was said in that meeting. He really attacks. the animal cruelty issue. And just report it. If you report it, we're going to attack it. We don't want it going on here. I'm an animal advocate. I love my dogs, but if we don't know, we can't do anything about it. It's the same thing with child abuse and some of the other abuses. If you don't know, you don't know.
Anything I haven't asked that you would want to address?
No, it's just it's a terrible issue. We don't want to lose the trust of any rescues, but I did go to the vet today when the dogs were down there, and I looked at just about every one of them's eyes, and I know at least 10 wagging their tail. They didn't see any bones. I do understand that Miss Mikaela's rescue took the worst of the dogs, and again, we're so thankful for her doing that. It was just she really was a blessing to that rescue and this tragedy that happened. But I was there at the rescue today. If anyone has problems about the dogs that are there right now, I can tell you that as of today, the 12 that I saw, there could be issues with them health-wise. I'm not a vet, but I can tell you when a dog's wagging its tail and trying to lick you, that they're not on death's door either.
I would like to thank everyone for their time and sharing with me what they did to be able to share with all of you. I also want to mention that JD Staley stands by the post that was made on December 30th on thanking Mikaela's Mutt Motel for showing up and showing out and getting them the help that they needed to get some of the dogs there off the property. He, again, talks very highly of that rescue. And JD says that he and Mikaela have spoken a number of times and want to continue to move forward, both telling me that the main concern, of course, are all the dogs that need to be helped. The dogs and all the animals in need are always at the heart of what they do, and that is why they are so passionate. When we come back, we're going to share with you one big point on if you have an animal, what you need to have done if you haven't yet. Also, some tips on how to make sure that your pets are housed as temperatures continue to drop. We'll have that for you after this.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25-plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back. Do you know the most important action that you can take for your pet is to have him or her spayed or neutered? This morning, we would also like to share cold weather guidelines from the National Weather Service for your little buddies and your larger animals. Here are some tips for the little ones. Provide a warm shelter. You can also bring them inside if you can. Make noise before starting your car because some small animals will use the warm car engine or wheel well to stay warm. Check the animal's paws, and then also recognize the signs of trouble. If your pet is whining, shivering, anxious, or slows down, your pet could be at risk of hypothermia. Now moving on to your larger animals that you might have on your property. Provide a shelter and or a blanket for more vulnerable horses out there. Provide plenty of dry bedding. Windbreaks also help lessen the impact of the wind. Make sure they have plenty of food and water, and be sure to observe the larger animals. You can look for early signs of disease and injury. Severe cold weather injuries and death primarily occur in very young or already debilitated animals. We do hope this helps. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.